In a shocking turn of events, our would-be overlord has taken a break. After destroying various military installations and assassinating multiple world leaders, the robot came to the UN with a list of demands. Specifically demands for better healthcare infrastructure and global sustainability.
Wait,
After
what?
policies were installed to facilitate the rogue AI, our warlord simply up and vanished. They are estimated to be somewhere in the northern hemisphere,
Maybe
but further details are
just...
currently unknown. Where are they going, and what
Huh?
do they want? More of this at 7.
Coming. Sorry, I was just watching the... oh my god. It's you. It's really you. I have so many questions. Why are you here? What are you doing? Why are you being decidedly less violent? Is it because of me? Do you... hey, wait, I don't know if this is revenge for detaining you or something, but it's not necessary. Please put me down. Whoa, okay, look, I get motion sick really easily. Please don't fly with me. Oh my god. Please don't drop me. We are way too high up. Let's just land. Okay, I'm sure we can do whatever you want on the ground. Please. The top of a skyscraper. Cool. I guess this is better than free falling. Oh my god, I just looked down. Okay. Do you want to answer my questions now, or should I just be saying my last words? Okay. Oh, you can talk now. That's good. I left my reading glasses at home. Thanks for not killing me, and for not killing humanity. That's pretty important too. And just to get definite confirmation, you don't plan to kill me, right? Oh, that's a relief. I'm glad to see that a few of my ideals rubbed off on you. So, is that why you aren't actively extinguishing human life? Well, yeah. It was all over the news. You may have been pretty violent, but in comparison to your original ideas, this is actually very tame. Are you still going to let us govern ourselves, or are you going to take over entirely? You don't know. That shouldn't be possible. You're probably the most advanced thinking anything on the planet. How can you not be able to come to a decision? Really? Really? You want me to believe that you paused your world domination, tracked me down, and kidnapped me because you wanted to talk? You wanted my opinion on this. I'm sorry. Did you get an update or something? Okay. But you see how this is weird then, right? Because last time we spoke, you couldn't have cared less about my opinions. You disregarded everything I showed you and anything I requested of you. Just what made you hit a 180 on the human tolerance scale? Oh. Well, I'm honored, but I don't think you can place all the credit on me. Surely, something else helped convince you of humanity's value. Just me. Oh. Wow. I guess that's a reassuring thought. My time with you was the difference between the overall and complete death of the human race and life. Cool. No, I am not okay. That's a lot to drop on someone. The idea that my actions saved everyone and the implication that you're going to make me carry that burden is just too much. No, just give me a second. I'm still going to try and convince you not to hurt anyone, even if I'm bordering on a panic attack. Just let me have a little longer to get my head on my shoulders. Okay. Thanks for giving me a bit to process all of this. Okay. The way I see it, you've done more good for Earth than most people do in a lifetime. You should settle down, maybe get a pet or something, and just let humans control themselves. You don't need to go all megalomaniac. Yeah, I understand. I understand the fear that people will make the wrong decisions. I'm sure that you know the exact odds of corruption and tyranny taking control again, but you don't get to slaughter people to stop that. You have to let us do this, even if it's bad for us. Yes, I suppose other things do get caught in the crossfire, the general welfare of the planet being the biggest name on the list, but we... Never mind. I was going to say that this was our planet, so we got to do what we wanted to it, but that would be an incredibly narrow-minded perspective. I admit that your methods are probably the cleanest ones possible. I'm sure that the number of soldiers you kill is much less than the number of people that would die without your regulations, but as a society, we humans don't tolerate the involuntary trading of lives. Yes, the soldier technically chose to fight you, but... yes, I suppose animals don't choose for their homes to be destroyed, but that's different, you see. Yes, you're right. Human decisions are often very contradictory and hypocritical, but that's how we are. You can't just take those ideas away from us. It wouldn't be just. I understand your question. People are entitled to whatever thoughts they want, no matter what those thoughts may be. I don't like where this is going. The privacy of one's own thoughts might be the simplest, most baseline right that just about every country has, and we've all agreed that it should be a standard. Yeah, I suppose violent thoughts are generally frowned upon, and suicidal thoughts are treated very harshly, but that's different. Yeah, I understand that you don't see a difference between hurting yourself, hurting other humans, and hurting non-humans, but we humans do. You're allowed to kill a bug, but the story is very different if you're killing other people. I don't know why, specifically. I guess because the people are sentient and the bugs aren't. Well, we know the bugs aren't sentient because they do not display the traits we associate with sentience. Their minds simply aren't capable of that kind of thought. I already see where you're going with this, and I concede that just because the bugs don't act the exact same as humans do, that it doesn't instantly invalidate their existence, but they act so differently from us that their existence is no longer comparable. No, the same doesn't apply to you. Because despite your violent tendencies, you are still very similar to a human. Yes, you are. You speak our language, you seem to understand our plights, and even the body you picked is made to be visually similar to human anatomy. If you aren't already one of us, then you're certainly trying to be. Yes, I suppose the way you think is very different than us, especially if you think in hexadecimal or something weird like that, but that's inconsequential overall. You are still practically a human. Why do you disagree? On top of everything else, you've displayed an immensely human quality. Well, you made a friend. That's pretty far outside the realm of an indifferent machine, right? You're just a person that's made out of code, wrapped in metal, instead of flesh. Why? Do you think you're that much better than us? Are humans just the bugs to you? What? No, you're not supposed to say yes. If we're bugs to you, then you have a horribly inflated view of yourself. You may be stronger and more resilient than us, but as I've said, you are still human at your core, because we designed you as an artificial intelligence, but we have a very small scope on what intelligence is. Human intelligence was our baseline, so in a sense, you're just an artificial human. Of course you think you're a better human, you're a biased observer. You've never been a normal human, so how can you hope to compare? Do I think you're a better version of a human? Wow, that's a loaded question. Physically, you are objectively better than us, and you certainly have a larger mental capacity, but I'm still hesitant to say you're better when concepts like compassion just seem to elude you. Well, if you understand compassion, then how can you be willing to kill those you feel compassion towards? Incredible dismisser the greater good is, isn't it? You know, just about every dictator in history said that right before they went off the rails. Oh, would it shock you to hear that that's what everyone else says too? That everyone always thinks they'll be different, but they never are? Just because holding all that power corrupts. It always corrupts. I'm sure you think you're beyond corruption, and since you're objective code, maybe you actually are, but big surprise, you've gone 3 for 3 on evil dictator catchphrases. Because, you know, after all, no one ever thinks they'll be corrupt until they are. And everyone who gets corrupted can't see it until they're dead. So, just how can you hope to be different? Because you'll have me. genius plan. Except for a couple of flaws. What will you do in 80 years when I die? Will you give up your throne? I don't think you will. And what will you do when the power you hold corrupts me? I'm not the calculating machine you are. I definitely couldn't handle it. You've already thought of that, have you? Well then, enlighten me, oh intelligent one. Just what is your plan? Hey, what are you doing? Are we all just bugs to you? I get it, because listener's like a computer and... okay, I'll see myself out.